is a video request to Adam about tools and weird ingredients in the grimoires. And they often use language like you should have bat blood or frog's legs or toxic plants or brains of an animal and so on. And my personal take is that they were just, some of them were just making people scared of them so they wouldn't start doing magic. And or they did it on the astral and wanted to make it seem more difficult than it is. This is just a short introduction. And for wand, like in Keys of Solomon, it is you cut it with one slice on a sunrise Wednesday in the hour of Mercury, and it's either hazel or a nut tree, and it should be a virgin tree less than 1 year old, so it hasn't pollinated, or what do you call it. And in Abramelin you have almond. And then there's the thing that you have to connect to the plant, tree or herb. And that is to pray, listen and feel awe of the creation. And in the time the grimoires were written, every living thing has an angel or a spirit within it, and you make a connection to the spirit of that particular thing as well as the angel who guides you to the right tree. And that should be done in a remote area, and since I came in here to town, in this town, I'm happy that I have made those in really remote locations, since there is so much blood on the ground, all the drug gangs and so on, so the energy is off in the trees, in many trees. So if you live in a town and there is a lot of criminality and so on, I'm growing my own lemon tree from a seed that gives me enough leaves to make my Solomonic water. It's on the window, in the window. It doesn't grow very well. I had it for 3 years, and but it always gives me 6 leaves each time I pluck from it and need Solomonic water, so it works in that way. And then the weather should always be calm, and that was only since in the old days they thought that the spirits of the weather had ear and so on, so that is something that is impossible in the north at least. And so I should, if you really want a connection, try to plant from a seed or by plotted plants that are lived, and say prayers and so on over it. And you can, if you live in an area where there are such trees and it isn't, then you can go and look and search for a tree and make a connection. That's the best way. But if you can't, buy a plotted plant and take care of it for at least a couple of weeks and make a connection there. And instead of blood, dragon's blood, which I can't get, they sell a fake dragon's blood in the teardrops things, and it doesn't even taste. I taste things. It doesn't taste like the real dragon's blood, so I stopped even trying. But in Finland, you always chew on willow or salix. There are different species of salix, so you should be careful that's not one toxic. And there are other trees that can produce red as well. And as you chew it in your mouth and spit it out, it creates, it's like blood, and it looks like blood and dries like blood. And that's what many of the Samis decorated their drums and holy relics with, since it looked exactly like blood and people thought it was blood, but it never. Blood scrapes off. You can scrape it off with your finger, and this soaks in. And then when I make incense and try colored inks, I go to a market or somewhere where there is exotic spices and things, and often they know what colors they can give, and then I try either with water or alcohol or alcoholic gel. And alcohol is essential in the way that it draws out the spirit out of the plant and it mixes the essence. And alcohol was called spirit in the old days, so there is a little mythology there. And when I make Solomonic water, I add this, it doesn't contain the fruit of the citrus, it's just a pure juice, a lemon juice, or E-vitamin. A little drop in the water, then it don't get moldy so quickly, and it has some life length. The prayers and the psalms you recite over the Solomonic water takes time, often at least half an hour just for making the water. So I want it to stay well. And then with the parchment of calf, I substituted that for the best quality paper I can get my hands on, and this is for when I draw with real ink. And but then I have some cheat things I tried out myself, and this is I buy small plants, or in my case I use seeds, and I just put them and try to get them to grow. And that goes for anything I try to do inside. And then there is, as I practice, as long everything takes practice. So in the beginning, if you have a second-hand shop where this marked with calf or goat, real old jackets, they always had a mark. They didn't use cat skin or dog skin back then. You can buy that and practice on drawing on that, since this it doesn't act like paper, so it's quite different, unless it's really properly done. And you exercise and clean them, and then you use. And then it is even suggested in the old grimoires that you make one sweet-smelling incense for the angels, and if you want to call upon the demons, they are always foul-smelling and toxic. They got like black poppy seed. In some countries you get arrested for having those, and mandrake, henbane, and lodestone, and you crush sulfur, everything, and so on. But you can try with, like I found out that some pine cones, they smell awful when they are fresh. So that is one thing. And that's what you made for the demonic entities. They cause many deaths and hallucinations just by being close to the incense. So I think that is just stupid. There are things that smell bad without being toxic. And here's the book I'm going to start with. This was a special edition that I was gifted with on my 50th birthday many years ago. And this is a special edition, so it was high quality paper. And I'm going to redo, once the one falls apart, really. I can't help it that it got striped, but it's the best quality paper, and it's a special edition, and it was for a 500 years celebration. So that is the book I'm going to use now next time. And you can always substitute, and you don't have to have everything in the beginning. You just start practicing, and if you practice with the angels, you collect and create more and more and more, and the more you learn, the more they guide you how to do these things, and they can lead you to things in various places. Like I found a hazelnut tree, not by accident, but I didn't know, since they are very rare in this area, so I found one. And So it's fascinating how it can go, and everything is about the dedication that you are searching, you are thinking, you are doing it yourself. So as long as you keep on searching and learning, and even if it's just buying a potted plant and growing it to a wand in your bedroom, that's fine as well, as just as long as you recite some psalms over it and connect to it, and you should really get to know them. And one thing that I usually do, I eat something from the tree. Not my one, but I eat something, so I consume a little bit of the thing that I'm connecting to, so we connect. And when I touch it, I leave the DNA on it with my hands, and when I nurture the plant and put the soil, it gets my DNA. So, and I give it blessed water and so on. So there is a bond that creates itself that is magical. So don't ever freak out. You can substitute anything, and you can use water, regular, what do you call them? These modern pens in different colors and so on. But I can make a video about different colors and different things and so on, and I have so many prayers listed up for each of the Solomonic rituals, so if you want something, just ask me for which, since one tool can leave that it is one tool and one with all the psalms. So if you want to know about that, I'm happy to do it. And don't anything let you stop from practicing it. And most of the pentacles can be done. There are just a couple of them that needs to be done on a specific hour, so look around what you can do. And even in the old grimoires, there is always somewhere easier procedure hidden in there. So that was all for now, and for the angels, they guide you. So as long as you put the effort in and recite the psalms and search and do that, then it becomes a magical thing. And have a magical day. Bye for now.